So I read another case where the guy asked her to marry him, and eventually her family could not find her, and then they found her dead in the home. And of course, he went on the run because he's the one who eliminated her. When you look at him, appearances say a lot, all right? He's a pookie, a violent pookie, okay? He's got tats on his face. He's got a bunch of gold teeth in his mouth. Do you honestly think he's going to be working for a major company looking like that? Do you think he's going to get a very good job looking like that? Because companies judge you off of how you look, okay? If you look like a dope dealer or whatever drug of your choice, that doesn't turn companies on. That doesn't make them go, "Oh, wow. Wow. We'd love to have him as the upper echelon of what this company is all about. Maybe he can work his way up to being president one day. Look at him. He's got a bunch of gold teeth in his mouth." Why would you be attracted to somebody who looks like that in the first place? He looks like a thug. He looks like a typical woman beating, dope slinging drug head. Now, I'm not saying that everybody who looks like that is not an entrepreneur, because that is a possibility. There are people who have actually don't even look like that, but they've been in prison and now they came out. They, you know, became a business owner, their own business, and they're doing very well at it. But that's not typical. That shows a lack of ambition. It shows that your career is in the streets because you look like that. Now, if you're a musician, that might be a different story. If you are a tattoo artist, that may be a different story. But they're not really trying to do career. They trying to do instant success, which usually involves criminal activity and that kind of thing. They're not ambitious to work on their future. I mean, look at them. He's straight up street hood rat. And then he took her life. So now he's a hood rat slash killer. Okay. I don't know what in the hell about that appearance makes women get all hot and bothered and want a future. Does he look like husband material? Does he look like he goes to work every day? Does he look ambitious? And I don't mean for street slinging, slinging drugs on the street. I'm not talking about that. Does he look like he wants to work in corporate America? Okay. I just don't understand what it is about that appearance that gets women so hot. Okay. Then you have a lot of women who are not only attracted to that, but they're also attracted to men who don't have a place to live. They don't have a car. He don't have a job. His job is sitting in somebody's basement, smoking blunts and playing video games all day. If you are not mature, you are going to make immature decisions. If you don't have a grown-up's mentality, you know, you're going to be attracted to someone who doesn't have a grown-up mentality. You're a child in your head. Even children can look at somebody who looks like that and go, why do his teeth look like that? Even a child can recognize that that's not normal. No one's going to hire you based on the bling in your mouth. We've interviewed a lot of people, but you're the one who has the most bling. So you can start. How soon can you start? That's not how it's going to go down. Okay? If you dance with the devil, you're going to be dancing with the devil. Her name is Jakira. Jakaira, I think. Jair. Yeah, I think Jakira is her first name. If you want to look up the case, she was murdered by her fiance. I mean, this is like ridiculous. I look at some of these thug dudes who have murdered, and not saying a thug dude can do just a thug dude. Anybody can murder. Okay, like I said, there were two. I told you this on the other video. One guy that, well, two guys who tried to eliminate their wives. They're both doctors. One's a radiologist, and one is a, I don't remember what field he works in. It might be with, I don't remember exactly. So you could be a professional corporate dude or a professional successful dude and still be a murderer. But when you look at this person's appearance right out the gate, that does not scream corporate success. Okay? And I don't know if you're attracted to bad boys, that's immature. Again, that's an immature mindset. If that's what you're attracted to, you need to stop dating until you figure out what that's all about. Because that's not cute. And in some cases, it can be deadly, regardless of what the person looks like. But he damn sure ain't going to be, you know, super success boy looking like a dope slinger. And companies do judge off your appearance. They do. You don't have to like it, you don't have to love it, but they don't want a certain image representing their company. Because that turns customers off and it may scare them, okay? And it may scare the people who work there. All right? Let's just keep it real. So her attraction to so-called bad boy got her eliminated. Why he invested all this money in a ring, if it's real, because it might not even be a real diamond, who knows? And get on one knee on camera and propose to her, make a big deal about it, just to eliminate her not long after that. I found the article. I'll try to put it in the description. A lot of times I look at these dudes that have been murdered, the women have been murdered, and I'm like, what in the hell was she attracted to? And even guys who don't have bling in their mouth, and you found out later that they committed murder, when you look at them, their eyes are dead. There's something about them that isn't right. It just don't make no sense. If you're not mature in your head, you shouldn't be dating. If you have a childlike mentality, and like I said, even children can identify that tats on the face are not normal, bling in the mouth isn't normal. Children even know that. They think that's weird. But if you're young in the head and you're attracted to that, something you're setting yourself up. Do you want to end up being his mama? And a lot of women will be happy to sign up for that. Again, you're not mature enough to date. I'm going to get him his own car, a key to my house, buy him some clothes, improve his appearance, get rid of those Steve Urkel glasses, and I'm just going to get him looking real good. You know what's going to happen after you do all that? He's going to take that same car and that same wardrobe, and now he got confidence because he's looking all good and whatnot, and he's going to go find other women. Sometimes he drives your car and puts other women in your car because you decided to be his mama and his partner, which is twisted and weird and sick within itself. If he's not grown enough to have his own basics, his own place to live, his own vehicle, his own job, his own bank account, his own clothing, you got no business being with him. Because then it starts making me think that you have a mama complex. You just really desperate to be a grown person's mom. And if that's the case, you have to go to therapy to find out where that comes from. Because that's not normal. Do you want a partner or a son? This is silly. And some guys have done the same thing. They like women who are broken so they can swoop in and quotation marks save the day. A lot of people who are at the bottom of the bottom, a lot of times they don't want to be saved. They like it because they know they're going to find a sucker who's going to swoop in and make them feel better anyway. So there's no incentive to be a grown up and do things on my own because somebody else will rescue me. Nobody ever rescued me. I have always had to be an adult. I didn't have a choice. Okay? And that's a good thing that I did it on my own because I'm a grown up and that's what grown ups do. But some people have, you know, they're attracted to birds with a broken wing. They have to swoop in there and save the day. And it's ridiculous. If your relationship is based on saving somebody, you're doomed from the start. You are doomed from the start. Stop being grown-ups mamas or daddies. If they're grown, they're supposed to act like they're grown. It just doesn't make any sense. And in this case, she'd end up losing her life. And it's sad because this is becoming so routine that it's frightening. We should not be so used to that, murders, that, oh yeah, well, yeah, it happens. Because now you're becoming cold and icy and you're losing your soul. You don't ever want to think that this is normal because it isn't. Your choices can get you eliminated. Your choices can get you eliminated. So anyway, you guys take care. And like I said, I'll put the article in the description. Bye.